I'm here for my first story time about me coming out and all about my coming out story and just everything about it, because I feel like this is something I definitely need to share and may help someone, or it's just something I really do want to share because it's been just the best thing to actually come out as queer and just figure myself out, and not hide behind whatever it was I was hiding behind. So it's May, and I came out exactly 1 year back on May 1st, in lockdown during a pandemic where I was alone for about 3 months in Mumbai. How this led, I'm gonna first talk about that and then talk about the actual coming out. So I've basically had doubts about not being straight for a while. In 2015, or 14, I don't know, 2014, 15, I properly had doubts of being bisexual. And I was surrounded by a lot of cis het people, so I really wasn't that good on, just queer terms and what things meant, honestly. I just knew that I may be, not straight. But since I was surrounded by so many cis het people, it just became the norm of like them not understanding what I'm saying, or, kind of dismissing my feelings that, they're not valid, or, that nah, you're just straight, this is just a phase, or this is just, you having fun. So, fun fact, I've been kissing girls since a long time. I've kissed more girls than guys. Super proud of that. But I always, until I like fully realized my, why I was doing this, I genuinely thought that was just me having fun. Like, this is Rosh's way of having fun. And a lot of cis het people did think that this is just Rosh's thing, she does this for fun. And I also fully believe that, no jokes. Like, I fully believe that this is just me having fun. Absolutely has nothing to do with me actually liking women. And it's so funny because, last year and was, 2020 has been great for me, because starting from the beginning of 2020, kind of told myself that I would explore this identity of mine, because even in 2019 and stuff, I had been talking to women on dating like sites and stuff. It just didn't lead anywhere because I was still a bit doubtful, still a bit in fear. But 2020 was so great for me because of mainly that, and it had started. And I remember telling my therapist this: I can't believe that I thought this whole time me kissing women over and over again was me just having fun. No straight hetero person does that for fun. And I was absolutely shook. I was like, wow, I completely believed that this is me just having fun. Things they make you believe, am I right? I mean, no doubt it was fun, but it would have been fun for me to also maybe date women all this while. It's cool. It's cool. We're there now. But anyway, so yeah, in 2014-15, I, started doubting my kind of sexuality, thinking I'm bisexual. I did experiment a bit in college. I was dating a cis het man then, who I was in a very toxic relationship with. And I think because of the narcissist empath kind of relationship that was going on there, it just became like, I can't let her figure out her identity, obviously. So I would be constantly dismissed, not just by them, but multiple people in my life who I considered very close to me. Not their fault or anything. We've been through a lot of conditioning for internalized homophobia, internalized biphobia, internalized transphobia, internalized racism, all very real. It's all part of our society. Internalized casteism, all very real, still exists. So, not their fault, but not mine either, But yeah, so I was basically constantly dismissed and not validated that my feelings were kind of valid themselves, and that no one really pushed me to be like, yeah, go explore, or yeah, go figure this out. It was more like, nah, you straight. Nah, this is just a phase. Nah, this is this. And then you start believing that, because already your society is against this, and then your immediate circles are also telling you that this is not valid. You simply start believing it. And I completely believed it, that it's like I convinced myself and tried to make myself believe that I was a straight person. But the universe and your soul cannot live a lie. I truly believe that you can't live a lie for too long. It'll gravitate towards people and paths that are meant to be yours. So from 2017 onwards, I was surrounded by a lot of queer people. A lot of people in my life also started coming out, and that kind of really, really fucking helped me. Just by, mainly because I kind of felt like home, with these people. Like, I just felt like this connection of familiarity, just a community. It's strange. It's just like I never felt that with a lot of cishet people, and suddenly I was around queer people and I felt that, and it was very comforting, extremely confusing as well, right? Because in my head I'm a cishet person. So it was always a battle. I was always kind of, very happy to be surrounded by queer people, and also constantly confused why I'm feeling this good around them. Why do I feel such a connection? Convincing myself that, of course, it's just this person. Obviously, you feel a connection to the person, has nothing to do with anything else. But the more and more this now I'm in Bombay, so I started meeting more and more new people, new experiences, kind of letting go of the things that were not good for me, figuring out my career, figuring out myself, and kept meeting more and more queer people, learning about queer experiences, learning about not new, but for me new queer terms and new identities, like gender fluidity, trans identities, learning about non-binary people. I wanted to educate myself on this, because a lot of people I knew also came out as non-binary or gender fluid, and I truly did not understand what it was for the longest time, as many people would have as well. And I think somewhere around 2018 ending, there was a shift in the narrative in my head that I don't think you're straight, Rosh. I don't think you're straight. And, still meeting a lot of women, meeting a lot of queer people that I absolutely love being around, just feel so good being around, energized, loving, feeling. And I'm still not fully understanding why. I used to go to clubs all the time, and there'd be a swarm of women who would, this is not a flex, okay, I'm seriously saying, like, what happened, like a swarm of women who would come and like basically assume I'm bisexual, because almost everyone who was queer thought I was bisexual. They just didn't want to invade that space, and be like, what is your identity? They were quite respectful of that and just let me be who I was, which was Rosh, let her do what she wants, which was so nice of them. But they all kind of knew that I was not straight. So yeah, I used to go to clubs, and there'd be a lot of women who would come, and I would also enjoy it and dance with them, kind of make out with them sometimes. Never went home with one, of course, because I constantly tried convincing myself I like dicks only. But yeah, I always did that, and everyone just thought like, this is Rosh's way of having fun, I guess. Maybe she's bi, maybe she's not, who the fuck knows. But yeah, around 2018 was like ending 2019. I was like, I don't think you're straight, Rosh. It's time you accepted that. So in 2019, I think I started like going on dating websites and adding women as an option as well. And it was so nice just talking to women on dating sites. It's such a different experience from talking to random guys. For reals, it is so different, and I felt so good. Didn't still do anything because of a lot of reasons. Let me tell you one. I'm sure people experiencing constant confusion like me would relate, that I thought I had to have sexual relations with someone to confirm that I'm queer, which is not true, because you know you're straight before you have sex with someone, right? Like, you're told you're straight and you believe it. So you do not need to sleep with someone to confirm you're queer. It's how you feel, it's your attraction towards someone. So please do not let the same thing get in between, because I always thought the same. Or like a relationship, like you have to be in a long-term relationship to prove that. That's bullshit. That's not true at all. I also just wanted more and more proof to, like, you know, just tell me that, oh my god, you are queer. Like, a lot of proof that I don't know where I was supposed to get from and where I thought I'd get it from. And I don't even know why I was looking for proof, because you don't look for proof that you're straight, right? You like just follow this urge that is conditioned to you, which is you're attracted to the opposite gender as your assigned gender, and you kind of believe it and you don't really look for proof. So I don't understand why I was looking for that, but this all has a lot to do with the internalized, like, homophobia, biphobia, transphobia, all of that. And it is so it's wild if you think of it. You know, we're all like conditioned so much that we want to look for proof to just like accept like our identity, because we're doubting it so much because of what our society has conditioned us to. But yeah, I kept looking for that proof, and I was very scared to honestly go out and explore and figure it out. But then came 2020, and who knew that it was going to completely change my life? And I started, like, I kind of told myself the end of 2019 that 2020 you're going to explore your sexuality, you're going to explore this path that has been coming to you for a long time. You gotta do this for yourself, because we as in me and my soul, were on this journey of spirituality, like therapy, figuring out so many things, leaving behind so many things, healing so much. And during this whole time, I was not with any cis man. I just couldn't get myself to do it for multiple reasons. One, from the trauma of my previous relationship. Second, I just genuinely didn't like feel any full attraction, safeness, and loved any cis man. And I was, I guess, in a way trying to figure out this identity and sexuality of mine. So it didn't really, like, my body was also not responding to just cis men. And so yeah, I told myself in 2020, you have to do this for yourself, because now it's not just, you're basically just hiding now, and it's affecting your mental health. You're constantly confused. There's this whole bipolarity of things where you don't know what's happening, and your body's also not responding to what you want. Like, you're convincing yourself you're straight, but it's really like your body's not responding to that. So I did that, like I promised myself. And in 2020, I was already like on dating sites with women, right? So I started meeting women, and I was like very nervous, obviously, but also like very, very excited, and it's so nice and refreshing. Felt really good. I think before it could graduate into anything, we reached March. And before the lockdown, I remember that 2020 started becoming the year of my queer awakening, because I started watching a lot of queer related content on my own, and I started watching. I think I have I have a lot of queer friends. Yeah, in 2020, like a lot of queer friends. And someone I remember told me watch The L Word, which is a 2000 show about lesbians and queer community in general. So I downloaded the shit because I had to watch it. It sounded really interesting. And I remember, watching that show and completely just getting into it, and wishing that this would be like my life at some point, and also just feeling home and feeling a connection. I remember I wrote it down in my book as well. Let me try finding it. Okay, this is 2021. Okay, we're at so March 8th, 2020. It says it's a Sunday, and I stumbled on the show The L Word, a show about queer people, and suddenly felt such a strong connection and need. Maybe I connected with queer gay people and anyone from the family because I in fact am part of it too. Maybe after my ex, I've not been with any man because I'm not just supposed to be with men. I suddenly had this strange feeling like this could be my life coming together, and maybe that the missing puzzle piece has been this all along. The confusion still exists though. Maybe I need to talk to some people from the community. It's a weird but exciting phase. I hope this blooms. And I don't know, I remember while watching the show, I was just so excited. It was such a confusing and exciting feeling because I really thought my life was coming together while watching that show. I was literally like, I think this is a missing puzzle piece. So after The L Word, I had to download it through torrent and stuff. I remember watching more queer shows. I watched all 10 seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race because by now we were in lockdown. I was alone in my house in Bombay, so obviously watching shows got me through it. Even though I was alone, even though I was doing all the housework, even though I was doing everything by myself because there were no maids allowed, nothing. And my mental health was deteriorating because of all of this stress. But it was so liberating to kind of just feel so connected and so lovely and feel homely towards these things. So other than RuPaul's Drag Race, I also watched Tales of the City, Tales of the City, I think it's called. It's another queer show from 1993, and there are like 3-4 parts of it. It was on Netflix, and it randomly came up on my suggestions on its own. So I watched that, felt more and more at home, that home feeling, and it was just like, fuck man, this is my truth, and it is coming together in this weird format because I'm at home alone now. I can't go out, I can't meet people. Literally hadn't seen a human connection in a while except my watchman every now and then, who I just say like hi to for like 5 seconds. Used to talk to a cat every other day, but was basically alone with myself. And in a strange way it did help. It did help for me to be alone with myself so that I could completely finally just be like, okay Rosh, this is it, you gotta do this. And through this, like I said, I have a lot of queer friends in this point of my life now, 2020 I mean. And one of them who I was talking to, I kept talking to generally, just checking up everything. And also by now I'm on dating websites, right? And I met 2-3 women who we connected with really nicely, but obviously because of the pandemic we didn't exactly get to like meet often, but we were just checking on each other, making sure we were nice and safe and like well, and we kept talking, trying to do creative projects together. It was so lovely. I've never felt that kind of lovely connection with a cis man. I mean, this is not a diss at cis men, I'm just generally saying, like, meeting a cis man online, I've never felt that kind of comfort and safety and just loving feeling. And May 1st, when I was talking to my friend Durga, we had a conversation in the morning, and we were talking about something about queerness or sexual identity or something, I put the phone down. And by now, while watching my queer shows, I kind of was like, I have to tell my parents about this, because I thought that was the first step of me coming out. Now I had already kind of come out to myself during these shows. I had to tell my mom, but I was genuinely scared. And it's crazy because my parents are really cool now. They weren't as cool now as they are now, but we've grown together and they're very cool now. And they know a lot of queer people because of me. And my mom knows a lot of queer people on her own. So it's like, it's such an irrational fear, but I get it. Like, it's so fucking hard to just tell someone when you're in a community, like a country, sorry, just is not letting you be who you are. It's literally so terrifying to tell someone that this is my identity, the same identity that our country does not want us to be. Fuck, it is terrifying. So yeah, I've been trying to tell my mom, not happening. Spoke to Durga, put the phone down. I don't know what happened. This was on May 1st. I literally was like, fuck, I can't do this anymore. I just have to come out. I just fucking have to come out. I think me and my mom were talking about some dude who had like made a comment on my Instagram. Surprise, surprise. And mom was pissed about it. And I was like, yeah, men are, it's so sad that men are like this in our country, blah, blah, blah. And then casually sliding it in, like, oh, by the way, speaking about men, I'm not just attracted to only men. I think I'm might be attracted to more than just men, and just letting you know. And my mom was like very cool about it. Her reply was like super chill, and I was literally like, the fuck? Why is she being so chill about this? Yeah, I was literally like, why is she being this chill? And then I was like, okay. And then I'm like, yo, did you get what I said? Like, I said I'm not straight, essentially, and that I might have a girlfriend, or I might have a partner who is not a cis man. And she's like, yeah, I got it, that's cool, as long as you're happy and someone treats you right, we don't care who you're with. And I'm just like, for real? Like, you're not even gonna question me or be like, the fuck, what are you doing? None of that. And I was like, okay. And I'm genuinely shook with the way that it's going so well, because I expected like questions or something, And then I was like, okay, I'll tell dad and Auntie on my own, blah blah blah. And she's like, nah, chill, it's okay, like, they also, like, all of us don't care who you are with, as long as you're treated well and you're happy. That's it. And I was like, wow. So it was this easy, and I just kept like psyching myself out. And I completely had forgotten that my parents have grown with me. They're not the same people they were a long time ago. Completely forgot my mom has seen me throughout my amazing toxic relationship and genuinely wants the best for me. Underestimated everything. And I was shook, but so happy. So fucking happy. And then I texted my friends and everyone, and they were like, oh, weren't you always bisexual? And I was like, yeah, but like I didn't say it out loud. And so this is kind of a big deal for me. And my queer friends especially were so happy, because they know how much of a big deal it is for someone to come out, that process of like standing up and saying like, fuck yeah, I'm queer. It's a big deal. So they were super happy, and they were like, oh yay, you're finally here, so happy, blah blah blah. And I was genuinely couldn't stop smiling that day. I couldn't see if there's a note of that day, but I know it was like May 1st. Let's see, I don't know if, oh yeah, it says lockdown, blessings, I came out, full clarity, almost full clarity on my sexuality, clarity on who I am now. Puzzle pieces are finally fitting. Figured out exactly what I want to do in the future, or at least kind of. Yeah, it's so nice to see this. And the last says, I feel whole, with a heart next to it. And I genuinely did feel so whole. And it felt so good, you know. And it's sad that we're in a country and a society that makes people take so long to, like, you know, accept their true identities. It's wild that someone like me, who was on their body positive, self-love, you know, getting over toxic conditioning, you know, misogyny, all of that, was still having, you know, issues with this, because that's how bad the fucking conditioning is. It's not easy. People don't get, like, how, like, they've really, like, just fucking mind fucked our heads, that you truly believe your realities are real when they're not. It's sad that people from the queer community, people in general, have to hide themselves and take so long to accept themselves. It's sad. Imagine if we could have maybe you know, been told as children that, yo, go explore, you know, your who you're attracted to, what you're attracted to, etc., etc. How fucking amazing would that have been? You could have dated multiple genders since you were 16, 17, and not just hetero normative life that was assigned to us. But hoping there's a change, and I'm hoping that more and more people understand how bad this conditioning can be, and your true self-image is distorted, because now, as we have grown into ourselves, our self-image has been a reflection of our environment, which is our society. So your true self, which is your soul, is kind of like, just shit is all over it now, because you're conditioned by your environment and you start believing that's yourself, but it's not. And that's why it's so important to find yourself and just truly figure out and explore. And it's not a fun journey. It's not fun. You're gonna have a lot of bumps in the road, but it's gonna be worth it. You know, it's gonna be worth it to work on yourself, to work on the love for yourself, work on loving your body, loving yourself, figuring out self-pleasure for yourself, figuring out what you're attracted to, who you're attracted to, healing from all the trauma, healing from all the hurt and the pain, because we've all had it. It's a lovely journey. And anyway, so coming out after that has been so fucking great for me. Of course, we've been through a pandemic. It's been chaotic. My anxiety hit the roof and I had to start medication, which I'm very happy I did. It's controlled now. I'm able to function well. But even with all of that shit, it's been the best. And that's why I'm so grateful for the fact that I had this privilege of sitting with myself and really just coming out finally, because it was a big step for me and a big deal. And yeah, I hosted my first queer party where it was called Disco 21, based on the club kids. And like I said, I've been learning more and more about the queer culture, queer community. I've been so into the art of drag and seeing what it really does. I even have my own drag name now, Candy Warhol, and these daughter, of course, and she's Sassy, and basically me in like an exaggerated drag form. And I get to be bitchy. Amazing. But yeah, I hosted my first queer party where I wanted to have a safe space for the queer community, the cishet community, to all be part of one and really have that space together, not exclude anyone, inclusivity, of course. And yeah, we're back in lockdown and I'm doing this video, but just very happy. And I currently identify as bisexual, but I really don't know my full sexuality still. I'm still exploring it. I don't know. I've not had the chance, rather, to get out there because of this pandemic. So I'm patiently waiting, but having a great time exploring my sexuality. I just know that I'm loud and queer now, and I'm very proud of it. Very, very happy to be part of it. And for anyone who is been through this confusion and been through this fucking chaotic mess in your head. I see you, I feel for you, and you will come out when the time is right for you and when you are ready. Coming out to yourself first is what is most important, and whenever you're ready, you can do it to others. And for those who may not have support systems at home, or in your immediate environment, who might not accept you, remember there's a whole community who will. And yeah, you are part of that community if you just identify as queer, and we got each other, you know. Of course there's always going to be conflicts here and there, but it's a whole community. So yeah, you'll find your people, you'll find you know, the right kind of people to be around with, and it's gonna be lovely. It's gonna be lovely. Just want to share this today, and I wanted to do this video for a while and finally got the chance to do it on May 17th, so that's great. So yeah, happy to be loud and queer, and mwah, love to you all. Thanks for listening.